What's good, guys? This is your boy Carlos, the Colombian guy. Welcome to my YouTube channel once again. And today, guys, I'm not gonna bring you guys any news. I'm not gonna bring you guys any updates. Today, we're gonna talk about our own black people in Colombia. I'm gonna speak facts. I'm gonna bring like two topics. The first topic is why black people been suffering violence for years in Colombia, and if Colombia is a racist place. So stay with me in the video and you will lose any details about this, guys. Let me just go ahead. So guys, it's time to speak fast. So let's start with this. So first of all, let me clarify. So we're in Colombia. There is the big amount, the majority of black people in Colombia. So we have like Cali, Colombia, we have Chocó, let me just, try to explain like this quick so, you guys can understand like more better. For example, like in Cartagena, Cartagena, Santa Marta, Barranquilla. So they are part, of the Caribbean coast of Colombia. Because in Colombia, we have two oceans. We have the Caribbean Ocean, like is the one that we have in Cartagena where I live. And in Chocó, like Chocó, Cali, no Cali, Buenaventura, all these towns, it's kind of like, is considered, it's not considered, it's confirmed. That's where is the Pacific coast of Colombia. So there, is the majority of black people, and they way different than us. Meaning, like, we all are black, but they taller than us, they taller than the Caribbean, from than the black people from the Caribbean coast in Colombia. They taller, they women's, like the women's, they cute, and the black women's here, all of that, so it's a lot of difference, between us. They eat the different food, they used to get different food, different season, all of that. So it's a lot of difference, between the black Caribbean, the black Caribbean in Colombia, and the black people from the Pacific of Colombia. It's a lot of difference. So they've been blessing a lot. Trust me, with a lot of resorts. They had the Pacific Ocean over there, which is like the largest ocean in the world. So it's one of the biggest one, right? So they had like, for example, in Buenaventura, so they had the port over there is the most important port. It's the most important port, dock of Colombia. So, they make a lot of money over there. But, and then they had the land. So the land is so powerful. Like they provide in Colombia the biggest plantain, the biggest plantain in Colombia. They the one that provides, all of that, because, they have, it rains over there a lot. So, God has been blessing them with rains, all of that. But, basic on those blessings, it's been causing them for years a lot of problems, So, because they have a good land, so it means like, they can plant, they can, any like type of plant can grow up over there. Majority, of good plants, they can grow up over there. They have like the forest, all of that. They have a lot of things. They have access to a lot of things. But unfortunately, like, like when you are blessing like that, like you would be some people like on your way, like, that they will try to take advantage, what you have. If you don't know, how to manage, all of that. So unfortunately, that's what happened to the black people from the Pacific coast in Colombia, because the Caribbean, like black people in the Caribbean coast, like, like I mentioned before, and I'm gonna mention now, so, it can be clarified, like Cartagena, Santa Marta, Barranquilla, they good, we're good in a lot of aspects, like, we suffer insecurity here, but, not like them over there, because like I said, they have forests, they have rivers, all of that. So, all of this, it's been using, like, it's been using for years, and now, it still is used, by the guerrillas, the narcos, all these groups, all of that. So they've been like they kind of like, emigrate to those lands, back in the days, when things were okay around that area. So what they did is like, they emigrate to over there. They took off their land, they took off a lot of the mountains, all of that, the rivers, they didn't took up the water from the river and the fish, none of that, but, like they were, the presence, was there, and it still is there. So anytime, like, for example, like somebody was seeing something like, like legal business or something like, like in those groups, they see like, it was kind of like a snitch or something. So they send, somebody to unalive them, to unalive the family, all of that. So they were trying to, clean it up. And they say clean it up for not to have witnesses, around that area, because, like I said, they took over their land. And, that's the reason, what they've been suffering, they still, suffering for years now. And it's very sad because, as much like the government, they want to help them, it's not a lot what they can do, because like they've been like those guerrillas, all these groups, like, like they got support for over there. Like even like, like sometimes the police, the government, they don't dare, to go over there because it's difficult to navigate. They've been there many times, Chocó, Buenaventura, all of that. They had to send the army over there many times, like to protect, locals, all of that, because this is something what got me mad all the time. Because, for example, now, well, all that I'm saying, like about now, like it's about what I'm gonna say now. It's been the same thing like before. It's like things been changing, like, just a little bit. For example, like now, our president Gustavo Petro, he's trying to make like the peaceful, he's trying to be peace with the guerrillas, because like if you guys don't know, like Colombia has been in a war for more of 60 years. It's been in a war that never get up. Like they sometimes, they calm themselves, they calm themselves down a little bit, but then they get back to the game. So this, this war, has been in the road for 60 years. So the army here in Colombia, they had to go to the forest, all of that, trying to find it, all of that. So when, like I say, now, our government, our president is trying to make the peace for them. And every time, something goes wrong with the process, what they do is like, how they dare, like the Pacific Coast, what they do is like, for example, they come to the main square, they unalive, for example, 10 people, 5 people, in the main square, all of that, which is, very sad, because, like, kind of like, the black people, they trying to like, they are not the responsible, but they acting against the black people like they're the responsible, because, something goes wrong with the government, all of that, guys. So like I say, they have a lot of resources. They have everything there, and, it's very poor. Like this is one of the poorest zones in Colombia. Even when Buenaventura, they had the biggest port in Colombia. This port made about $2 billion a year, and Buenaventura is like 80. Speaking about numbers, 84% of the community in Buenaventura, they poor. They very poor. Like people dying from hungry, and they had the biggest port in this. They had the biggest port in the country, the most important, and they made like almost $2 billion a year. But like I say, the corruption, the guerrillas, all of that, because that's another thing. Like they trying to control everything that goes to those towns, everything that's come inside, everything that goes, all of that, everybody, somebody coming, you going over there, so they already know who you are. They already know the reasons why you there. Maybe, they already know where you're gonna be staying at, so they have access to a lot of things, so they can control, the poor, all of that, everything. If they had the control of the poor, they had to they control, a lot of stuff. So those people, like, that they always been asking me, like, I decided to make this video because I feel like it's needed for you guys to know, like, how is the situation with the black community, in Colombia. Like I say, they've been suffering a lot for many years, and they are still suffering. Last year they unalive, almost 14,000 people, 14,000 black people, they lose their life in Chocó. 40,000 against the violence. So like I say, anything goes wrong, they just go there, and unalive people like crazy. People be losing their life, all of that. And the worst thing is, like, listen, this is why, all these things, get me really mad, because, like I feel like those people, like they don't have feelings, all of that, those guerrillas. And they are big groups, like, one guerrilla, the guerrilla, I think all of them, they are like 10,000. They have money like crazy, because they involved, like in all this illegal business, all of that, they've been involved in a lot of stuff, because first of all, like, for example, like the boss, it's like Pablo, like they will need them. Cause like these people like the boss, like those big narcos, like they don't need to be sleeping at the jungle, because they want to enjoy luxury things, they want to be at the pool, all of that. So they need people like like they can realize to take care their plans, their plans. So like they need people like they can realize to watch out for everything, make sure everything goes right, all of that. So like I say, one thing that got me really mad is like sometimes they've been, not sometimes, all the fucking time they've been like they've been like displacing people from their place, they land. Like they go, for example, like it was worse back in the day, but I see they back in the game now. So for example, you could own this house, let's say this let's say this room, right? And then for some reason they were needing your house for for to plan something, to plan like the type of business that they want to sell. Or either one of their bros want to live there, and then they will tell you like, oh, you gotta live now, you gotta live. Why? You might be, why? This is my house. Okay, if you don't leave, we're gonna unalive even the dog. So you gotta live from here, or where you will see the reaction. So like I say, those people, they've been suffering like crazy. Also, one thing that they do often, meaning they realize all this group, because there's a lot of groups over there, but the one that is been making more like the black community suffer more in the Pacific coast of Colombia are the guerrillas. So they're the crazy ones, you know what I mean? So like I say, like one thing that like all these people suffer also is like sometimes they've been protesting in the road like guerrillas, like like people like you feel mad about something, you go out to the street to protest. They've been doing the same thing in these highways in Chocó, all of that. And what they do is like I say, I think like the main purpose is like make the black community suffer, because like that way they can manage the government how they want. Because like I say, it's difficult, it's a big line, so it's difficult to find it over there, because they know how to move over there. So it's very difficult to find it. So what they do is like they be protesting, and then like people need food, right? So and then like a lot of this, like like I say, they can plan a lot of stuff, but sometimes they been like they don't let like some car that been providing food to those towns, they don't allow them to go inside to the town. So people can get hungry, and they say complain to the government, so the government can they do what the guerrillas want to help them, you know what I mean? So same thing, sometimes when they be fighting with the guerrillas, all of that, sometimes it's very crazy also, because like the farmers, they can go to the farm to plant and stuff, to plant the corn, rice, what they need, to even like to fish. To the fishermen, they can go to get fish, they cannot go to get fish, none of that. So guys, the situation, is pretty crazy, with all my black people in the Pacific coast of Colombia. And this is the reason why, like a lot of people been asking me like, hey, is Chocó be safe to visit, Buenaventura, all these lands, honestly, like, like they have like a lot of our black people over there, a lot of beautiful and amazing women, but like it's not safe to visit over there. I'm not saying like, oh, you go over there, they're gonna kidnap you, none of that. I'm just saying like like police, the army is not the law over there no more. That's the truth. Like they know the law there, the law are they guerrillas, you know what I mean? And they have access to a lot of stuff, honestly. Like I say, they can kidnap you if they want to. But they feel like it's gonna be maybe a big problem for you if you're coming from American, or if you are like a foreign or something. You know what I mean? But they have access, like I say, to a lot of stuff. Like, and as much the government wanna help them, like there is community over there that is being like 40 years without electricity, 40 years without water, because like I say, like this is one thing, guys. Hey, I can't sit down one night to tell you history about my country, speaking fast about my country, speaking fast, about the black community. Hey, and I won't finish. Like I said, I won't finish. Sometimes, like that, like I say, the government wanted to help them, with the providing, water, all of that. And they've been creating for those communities that are far. Some of these communities, they are like 6 hours in boat in a river by the mainland, 7 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours far from the mainland. So the government has been providing them the machines for the lights, all of that. What they do, sometimes what the guerrilla does, they set it up bombs. They set it up bombs to make to cause explosion in this machine. So these people, they won't have access to electricity no more, and they won't have access to the water no more. So can you believe that? Like hey, it's crazy. Our people, they've been suffering a lot for real, but they real warriors. They don't get up. They real warriors, and like majority of Colombia, they respect them a lot because they know what they're going through. And nobody can tell them nothing about, war, all of that, because they've been to a lot of stuff. It's like, hey, I've been to this school, none of that, because like I say, they're from Chocó, they're from the Pacific coast of Colombia. Majority of Colombia, they have to respect them. Majority, there is no city in Colombia they can't jump on these people like the Pacific coast of Colombia. You gotta respect them. They brave, they don't get up, none of that, guys. So, this is like a lot of these people, they've been forced to emigrate to leave their land, and they never go back. I know people that they from Chocó, and they've been in problems over there for years. I know somebody that he's from Buenaventura, and then he was in a problem over there when he was 25 years old, and then he emigrated to Cartagena, and he's like 55. He is even scared to go back over there because he knows the problem. He knows the problem that he has. It's a serious problem. So he doesn't want to be like in ball again, and none of that. So he's kind of worried about his life, and all of that for like, so guys, this is the situation with our black community in Colombia. I hope one day they can peaceful lives. They can have a peaceful life, all of that. So because it's so sad, it's so sad, what they've been going through and all of that, but like I say, I give them, all my respect because they never get off fine, they never had get ups about that. So guys, another facts that I'm gonna speak about, because today, I'm dedicating my time to my own people, to my black people. I'm dedicating all my time today, guys. I could have brought you guys, an updates or something, but I was like, hey, let's do, something different, let's do, something, for my our community, all of that. So I was needing you guys. I was needing, bringing this up into the channel, guys. You know what I mean? So guys, another fact I'm gonna speak about is about Colombia is a racist place, yes or not? And the question is no. Colombia is not a racist place. Colombia is a place that don't respect you if you give them respect. They don't care if you red, brown, yellow, green, orange. They don't care about your color. If you give them respect, they will respect you. But also, if you got the bread, if you got the money, they don't care about that. They don't care what's next. So a lot of, like I say, like I mentioned, they respect a lot of the black people in Colombia. The white people respect a lot the black people in Colombia. They don't mess with them because they know we go crazy about everything. So they rather give us respect. And about the women, like they've been choosing like black guys over the wives, all of them. Don't get me wrong, not all of them. I have to give my credit to the white guys who, talking about women, something like that, stuff like that, and even black girls be choosing like white guys, so and vice versa. What I mean? By this is not the main topic, guys. What I mean? Like, hey, Colombia is not a racist place. Like they will respect you. You respect people, they will give you the same. They treat us good. All of that. So like Colombia, I don't feel myself like I grew up like born and raised in Cartagena, Colombia. All my family is black, and I have friends a lot of type of color. I got black Chinese friends that they Colombians. I got white white friends. They Colombians. I got I got a lot of type of friends. And then we never been racist. Between each other. None of that. I don't know. What about other places in the world? But speaking about also I'm speaking about Cartagena. I'm speaking about and in general. I'm not saying in general. Because like I say, they respect, a lot of, this color right here is being respect. Is respect in this country. Hey, this color, don't play against. So, a lot of people been sharing, saying things. Oh, they racist over there. They this, they that, they do that. No, one of the most successful cities in Colombia is Cali, and Cali is made by, is made like just like kind of like by black people. There is a lot of white people that live there, but Cali is like made, and it's one of the most successful city in Colombia. And all you can find, well, majority people that you can find over there, they black. There is a lot of white people there too. The big majority, is black because around their surroundings, because it's close to the Pacific coast also, they have Buenaventura close. So there is a lot of black people over there, like I say, you know what I mean? So, hey, no. I'm proud to be black, guys. I'm proud to be black in Colombia. We receive a lot of blessings, from God. We don't suffer. We don't suffer, a lot of this stuff here. And if they do that, the government won't play about that. They will open investigation, all of that. Oh, that's a big huge mistake. They've been shooting, black people here. None of that. They will give the reason to the person that deserve that. You know what I mean? Well, it depends. If you've been fighting with somebody that has, a lot of bread, maybe it would be difficult for you to win over them. But, majority this is a peaceful, it's not peaceful country because, there is always, problems going on in the country. And, like I say, we've been in war for over 60 years, not in my city because Cartagena, those type of problems have never come here. The reason why Cartagena is ready for a war, they well protected, all the ways that that come to the old city, Boca Grande, tourist place, they are well protected. You got the army base, you got the police station every fucking where. So they always ready for war, all of that. And if they trying to attack Cartagena, they gotta go, if they trying to hurt the city, whoever, these guerrillas, or any of them. So what they had to do is attack somewhere that it's gonna hurt them. If they're gonna attack the tourists, it's gonna be hard for them because it's gonna be hard to get out because like I say, every way, even if you get the boat, the army is there too, so it's difficult for you to get out. It's way difficult, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm blessed, guys, you know what I mean? We're blessed, to be back in Colombia. So hey, somebody selling you, they racist or something. Maybe, they a little bit people when people trying to be over you or something, it's because sometimes they have bread, they have money. Because somebody trying to tell you something bad, treat you bad or something, at least they need to have money. But this is a broke country. A lot of people are broke. Majority of people are broke. So people don't be won't be in the life this black or something. None of that. Like I say, it's a country that we're trying to live peaceful. So yeah, guys, that's all I want to bring to you guys. I didn't try to make this topic long. But I was trying to do my best. To bring you guys, this info because, like I say, I think it should be, it was needed, my channel, to speak about, something different, speak about my own people, you know what I mean, guys. So, guys, thanks for everything, guys. You guys really been helping me a lot. None of this would be possible without you behind the screen. So I really appreciate that, guys. Guys, if any day, anytime, any second, any moment you guys come into Cartagena, Colombia, don't forget to hit me up. I own a tourist company named CTG Connections. You guys can find me on IG also. I would appreciate that if you guys subscribe over there. CTG Connection, that's the name of my company, guys. We offer tours like Volcano, Palenque, AT Beach, private gas, private speedboats, all of that, guys. So, hey, also I'm going to drop on my PayPal information, guys. If you guys want to show me some love, This is go have, but I'm not begging for money, guys. See you soon, guys. See you next time. This is your boys, Carlos, the Colombian guy. Boom.